Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you're okay wherever you are in the world. I've got a fun video for you today that I hope inspires. One of our bloggers, Astrid Longhurst, wrote this article and I read it 3 times because it was just such a cool story of her own life and experience, and her pictures are amazing. And when you take a look at the article and look at her, you will see why this article is and video is so relevant. You know, we spend a lot of time in our lives as we're getting older is trying to find that authentic person, you know, that woman who always wanted to be. So that woman that's been inside of you all these years and maybe just not allowed to come out. You know, when we were young, you know, think about when you were young, you were always told, you know, keep your hair short, you know, wear appropriate clothes, don't draw attention to yourself. You know, women were, I mean, that phrase, seen and not heard, was actually more a reality when we were growing up as we're now in our 60s and 70s. And I think, you know, we've kind of put that a lot behind us, of course, as we've gone through our careers, and we've established, you know, a place in the world where women are more accepted as equals. We've still got a little way to go, or maybe a long way to go, depending on how your life has played out. But, you know, I think that it's important that we know where we've come from, because I think there's making shifts in our lives in our 60s and 70s is more difficult when we look back to a past and to a context for our growing up that was different. Anyway, Astrid, of course, if you look at her picture, says, you know, I completely ignored that as I've gotten older. She's 61 now, and she says, I just refuse to see that. I've grown my hair. She calls it long and wild. She's got beautiful gray hair. It's free and flowing. She says she wears clothes that she calls, I think, romantic bohemian. And, you know, she just enjoys the woman that she wants to be. It's not that she's who she's become or whatever, but she's the wild woman. This is what she calls herself. And, you know, I guess the question she asks are, you know, what are you, when you look in the mirror, do you see that wild woman? Do you see that woman that wants to grow her hair long, that wants to maybe put some makeup on or try some turquoise eyeshadow, or, you know, just, you know, ignore the stereotypes and kind of and not listen to the rules that were laid down for us as we were getting older. Super, super important. So she's you know, she's definitely, in her opinion, and probably if you look at the article, not your idea of a classical, traditional 60-year-old woman. She's not, you know, she's not following the stereotypes at all. And she doesn't have any worry about the taboos of aging. It's actually very interesting. I was reading an article how many older women are getting tattoos. And this is becoming really a common thing, because I think we're saying, hey, we always wanted a tattoo, but, you know, all the rules and the guidelines told us not possible, not to be done. And basically, as Astrid says, women now, and I think this is so true, in our 60s and 70s, are reclaiming their passion, their power, and their presence, you know, in the world. We're not, you know, embodying the rules that went before. We're embodying the rules of the wild woman. And it's not really completely about the way you look. In fact, it's probably not at all about the way you look. It's about the way you feel. And this concept of an inner wild woman who doesn't follow the rules, who is living life to the full, that's the person who is timeless. She's ancient. She's knowing. She is, you know, she is a wise person. You could call her a crone. You could use other words to describe who this wild woman is. And I think it's really a powerful image. And I don't know, maybe some of you can relate to this. If you do, leave your comments below, because it'd be fun to see whether anybody else is experimenting in the same way that Astrid is, you know, wearing kind of crazy, kooky, beautiful, shiny, sparkly clothes. I do it. I mean, I try. I don't do it as much as she does, I think, but maybe not as much as you. But I do like to put eyeshadow on that sparkles. I like to wear lots of necklaces and jewels that just shine and are colorful and expressive. And I think that's the thing about this wild woman, is she just wants to be expressive. I remember this summer I went to the UK, and I met with some friends who lived near the beach, and we went down there, and I didn't have a bathing suit with me, but they were in their their swimming gear, and it was just like the full, because the water was cold. And I just thought, they're so beautiful. These women are just, you know, not perfect bodies, not perfect shapes. They were just out there swimming. And it was just, and, you know, and they weren't caring what anybody thought. So she's true. So this wild woman is true to her authentic self. Clarissa Estes Pinkola, she wrote this quote, and it's really a cool one. Astrid uses it in her article. She says, within every woman is a wild and natural creature, a powerful force filled with good instincts. I love that, with good instincts, passionate creativity, and ageless knowing. Is that you? Maybe not, but I just find it. Anyway, how do you meet this inner woman, this inner wild woman? You may already know her. She may have already introduced herself to you. And she's found, as Astrid says in this article, it's beautifully written, by the way, her article. She says, you'll find it in your deepest desires. She's not afraid to stand up and speak for what she believes in, for what she feels is right. And she's not trying to fit into someone else's rules or box or definition. She is listening to her deepest desires. And I think that's where we find so much of our truth. You know, we may be saying to ourselves, well, that desire is not really appropriate for an older woman. Calling back on those rules and guidelines that we lived by as we were younger. You know, we have tried to repress her probably a lot of our life. But she's there. She's coming to get you, and she's going to come and get you in a way that you can handle it. I mean, she's not going to shift your whole wardrobe or the way that you do things, but there is a person inside of you who is coming to get you, and she is your wild, beautiful, wise, gorgeous, experimental, creative woman. Now, she says, discover. How do you discover? You can feel a little scary. You've got to be not apologetic about it. You've got to be courageous, and you can't really be saying to yourself things like, "Oh, is that too bright? Is that too garish? Is that too, whatever?" No, there's no too much of this. I mean, honestly, at this age, we go out into the world. I mean, people may look at you and think, that's interesting, or make some comment about the way you're dressed or whatever to themselves, but does it matter? Does it truly matter? Somebody made that comment in a comment at at the bottom of one of our articles, and it was like, if not now, when? And like, does it really matter what anybody else thinks? And I don't mean that in a casual way, because of course it matters. We have to navigate this world. We have to make an impression. We have to go, some are still going to work, or even those who are not going to work. They just like the comfort of the traditional rules that they grew up by. So there's no like desperate, requirement to become a wild woman. But there is a woman in there who has desires and passions and ideas and creativity. And I think she goes there's 5 ways here that you can become this wild woman. First one, romance your body. Hold yourself, touch yourself, love your body. I think romance your body is a beautiful phrase to just say to love yourself. Whatever you look like, all the little scars and bumps and wrinkles and veins and whatever else you've got on your body, just love it, love your body. Second is follow your creativity. This is a really good one, because I think that a lot of us think we're not creative, we're not, don't have a creative bone in my body. But when we think about things we've done, not necessarily with paints or, in our lives, but we've been creative. We've made do, we've adapted, we've overcome things that require creativity. So I think that's a good one. Don't die with the song still in you. Give the song freedom to be sung. If you've got a burning passion for anything, don't put it off. Do it. Just do it. Wear clothes that reflect who you are. When you look at Astrid's pictures, you'll say, yes, that's exactly what Astrid likes to wear. Tutus, maybe, I don't know. But, wear what you want to wear, and wear it with joy and a sense of bliss and passion. Next thing is to wear the clothes. And she's got a book, by the way, and I've got here, grab her free book. It's called Free Spirit, which is tips and mantras and exercises for you to help to reveal this magical wild woman inside of you. Astrid Longhurst is her name. I don't know whether she has a blog, but she probably does have a website. But check out her article on 60andMe. I'll leave the link below. Go check it out and read it, and maybe check out get a copy of her book. I think it's an ebook, and be fabulous. It says be free and fabulous. I think I hope this is a fun video. It's not been a serious one. I mean, I'm not sort of laying down any laws. I'm just saying, if you're curious about this other little person that keeps appearing in your dreams, in your deepest desires, then let her out. Let her be free, even for a minute or 2 a day. It's okay. I hope you've enjoyed this, everybody. Please take good care of yourself. Stay strong and well. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up for me, because that gives YouTube the permission to share it with other people, and we want other women to be part of this journey. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And also there's a notification bell that you can press. I do 4 videos every week, and I love you to join us here and share in the comments and the conversation. But I know that you're loved, and I respect you all for your beliefs and what you do and who you are. I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. But take really good care of yourselves. Sending lots of love to you. Bye-bye, friends.